Hello, hello and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X. We're going to talk about power. That's right. Welcome to Pertum, welcome to my creative save, and we're going to discuss some power options. This is not really aimed at veteran players. This is aimed at anyone who may have recently grabbed the game and wants to know how to get power to a grid and what kind of options do you have, especially in the early game, to provide power to a grid. Plus, at least a quick look at how we can make solar work for us, especially since we can use an event controller, custom turret controller, and some little tricks to enable us to provide power to a base during the night and recharge our batteries during the day. But before we get into any of that, the first part of this is basic power. And basic power on a grid comes from two sources. And let's just build ourselves a bit of a grid here. And if you're new to Space Engineers and you've just started, I'm using creative mode and building using the plane building, multi-block. So I'm using line building actually. We have plane and we have single block. I was using plane recently, but I'd switched over. And to change build mode in creative, click in the right stick, go to the build menu when you've got a block selected, and just tap the right bumper while holding the left stick to the left until you select the block mode you want. We want line, let go of the stick, tap RB. And then from now on we can just drag lines of blocks. Makes it a lot easier. So this is our grid of blocks, and we'll just pop something on that requires power. And one of the things that you're going to need that requires power, not one of those, but a basic refinery early on. Let's just rotate this round. It's going to need power to run. The same as your oxygen generation under gas and logistics. These all require power to run, and you'll see that the light here is red, which means there's no power going to this grid at all. If we slap on a battery like so, in creative mode, a battery will start at 10% and very rapidly recharge itself until it's maxed out. And you'll see now that on our refinery our light is green. This one is yellow because it's not doing anything. And we've got power running to this grid. That's a battery. But batteries discharge in survival, and unless you have a way to recharge them, eventually they're going to run out. And when that happens, no power, nothing works, everything's shut down. Not too bad on a planet like Pertum or Earth-like, but on one of the planets where you require oxygen and so on. Not good at all. So our first option for power on a planet like this, and Earth-like, anywhere with wind, is wind power. Let's just grab our light armor blocks. We'll draw that away from here. And then we're going to pop in a wind turbine. Now you can find these as you go through under production and medical. And you'll see that the wind turbines are here. Now a wind turbine this low down is going to produce a small amount of power. Its wind clearance is poor. So what we want to do with this is put it higher up. So what happens if we put it, say, 3, 4, 5 blocks up? We're using the basic wind turbine as well. Its wind clearance is good, but we can do better. Often, I like to put it quite high. I'll build 12 to 14 or so blocks up. Come down again. Now our wind clearance here is optimal. And we can run our devices. Let's just get rid of this, we don't need it. We can run our refinery quite nicely without any problems. Just off one wind turbine. But what I like to do is future-proof a grid like this. So I will often come down a block around the outside on each side. Like so. And then place wind turbines on the blocks like that, creating a tower. The Tower of Power. And if we look at our wind turbines, each one is optimal. So, because I've seen people build wind turbines in some interesting ways, what you'll find is if you build wind turbines too close together, they will interfere with each other and your power will not be optimal any longer. So for instance, if we just pull, say, another set of blocks, pop up a wind turbine here, you should see that our wind turbine on this one, number 8, is optimal because there's enough distance away. Now when you try and put down a wind turbine here, for instance, you'll see that you can't place it next to that wind turbine. And you can't place it next when you build out by one block. And if you build out by another block, you can place the wind turbine. So 8 and 9. And you'll see that our wind turbines here, because they have enough clearance, are optimal. So you can continue along that line putting in wind turbines. And again, you'll notice that you can't build a wind turbine next to it. You have to come down a block. As I said, this is our basic look at power. Let's try and get this right. We'll just, is that far enough or not? Think so. Yep. I might be able to get it closer just to demonstrate the various ways you can build wind turbines. And you'll see that the 10th and 11th wind turbine are optimal, again because there's clearance between the turbines. So as long as you bear in mind to leave at least a block or so between the turbines, you can build your turbines how you want. My suggestion though is to build a few towers of power, because these are about the best way to build them. And if you want to get rid of this lot quickly in creative mode, don't bother deleting it. Split it from the main grid. Select your block. Delete that block. Delete this block until it's standalone. 2 grids. And then click in the right stick. Hold on, let's select this one first. Click in the right stick, cut grid. Boom. Right stick, cut grid, done. Gone. So that is the basic look at the first type of power that we can use in Space Engineers to power a grid. And this is the kind of power system that you're going to be using when you land on Pertum or when you land on Earth-like. My suggestion, if you've never played Survival, start with the Earth-like planet, because some of these are extremely tricky. Pertum especially, its resources are scarce, and if you have the weather enabled, the weather is diabolical. It's extremely dangerous, which is why I have my self-repairing lightning rods over here And if you want to know how to build those, have a look through my videos. You'll see how to do it. But Pertum is not a beginner planet. So that is your basic introduction to wind power. The next time we'll take a look at solar power. How to set up a solar panel and how to build a small solar rig that tracks the sun. But not only are we going to do that, we're also going to track the sun and charge our batteries during the day and put them in the discharge power state at night to power the base. So while the sun's up, your batteries will be drawing in all that power, and then at night it will release it so your base will function properly. And all that is accomplished with the aid of the custom turret controller and an event controller. Until then though, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game, keep on building. Feel free to engage in the comment section, in the community section. Show me any builds you've got or whatever you want. If you've got questions, fire them away and I'll do my best to answer them. As I always say, I can't really answer questions on servers or anything to do with that side of the game because I don't actually run one or play on them. Apart from that though, I can answer basic questions and some of the more advanced ones, especially for console. Until then, bye for now.